Hey guys, hope you are all faring well today. So we have a matchup between the Dark Elves going up against the forces of the Tomb Kings. This was a battle sent to me by Icepower, and it was between him and Hubert. I believe they matched up in quick battles, and of course Icepower going with his Dark Elves. He loves to go with these weird off-meta Dark Elf builds that somehow find success even in the strangest of situations. So in this one, you can see Icepower's build going for a powerful Air Force core. So we have the Crows of Cain, the Regiment of Renowned Harpies, along with 1 unit of normal Harpies, 2 units of just normal Feral Manticores, one of which is chevroned up, and we have Morathi. Morathi, along with the double Manticores, of course, are going to be an elite goon squad. Tomb Prince is really going to be in danger or the Tomb King in this case, the Tomb King is going to be in great danger if he finds himself isolated and surrounded by Morathi along with double Feral Manticores. These guys really excel at taking out single entity units. For the front line of the Dark Elves, we have Blackguard Corsairs who will trade very well with Skeleton Warriors, but they don't have any elements of anti-large, so they will struggle against this very large size unit dominated Tomb King army. So we have Skeleton Archers, Neakara Horsemen, we have a Tomb Scorpion, and we have the Tomb King on a War Sphinx. So these Blackguard Corsairs might struggle a bit in that department. We do have 2 units of Dread Spears, adding some dedicated anti-large maybe to combat those threats, and we have 3 units of Dark Riders with repeater crossbows who will be counter-skirmishing those Neakara Horsemen with archers, or Skeleton Horsemen archers. And we have a Sorceress of Fire coming in with Burning Head, and is that something else? Nope, never mind, not a spell. And Morathi likely coming in with Soul Stealer and the Wand of Caradron. And for the forces of the Tomb Kings, we have 3 units of Skeleton Horsemen Archers, counter-skirmishing, of course, the Dark Riders with repeater crossbows, though they do have to watch out since I do believe the repeater crossbows will have superior skirmishing capabilities. We have 3 units of Neakara Horsemen, a Leash Priest of Death likely coming in with, Spirit Leech, and the Fate of Buna, which is basically just an upgraded Spirit Leech. So he will be able to do quite a bit of damage to units with a rather low HP pool. We have the Tomb Prince upon his War Sphinx. He's going to be very tough to take down with 490 weapon strength and over 7,000 HP. The lack of anti-large on this Dark Elf roster might make it a bit tough to take out so many cavalry units along with the Tomb Prince and the Tomb Scorpion, but if anyone can do it, it can be the double Manticore along with Morathi on her Dark Pegasus, I guess? Not sure what to call her cavalry flying mount, but it is relatively effective. We have a front line of the Tomb Kings of just standard Skeleton Warriors who won't trade very effectively with Blackguard Corsairs. We have 1 unit of Ushapti with Great Bows, who actually, I believe they will be very important in this matchup, since if they can rampage one of these Feral Manticores and throw them into an unfavorable matchup, that might win them the battle very, very quickly, since the Dark Elves will lose most of their gooning potential. We have a Tomb Scorpion hidden in the woods, and that wraps up the forces of the Tomb King, so let's get this battle started. Initially some skirmishing fire, likely going to be coming in from the Skeleton Horsemen Archers, and the Tomb King is actually going very, very deep. Seems like he's going to be charging directly into the Dark Elf lines, going right into some Blackguard Corsairs. Of course, without any anti-large capabilities, he will not be taking any damage at all, and with his great charge bonus will be knocking a couple of them off their feet, though did he take out any models? Only 1 model, so not the greatest damage, but over time it will add up. Seems like the Goon Squad is heading for the Tomb King though, so he might want to start to run away. The double Feral Manticore along with Morathi have their eyes set on the War Sphinx. The Dark Riders with repeater crossbows actually are also going to be a very, very dangerous unit for the Tomb Prince. They do have armor-piercing missiles, yes, so yeah, really have to watch out since there is a ton of gooning potential in the locale of this Tomb King. Along the rest of the front lines, of course, Black Ark Corsairs will be beating actually, we have one unit of the Tomb Guard. So we have a couple Tomb Guard, actually, not just Skeleton Warriors, who may trade a bit more effectively with the Black Ark Corsairs, but what I was saying is they have to watch out for these Nahakar Horsemen, since they will have practically no capabilities to take them out with barely any. They only have anti-infantry bonuses, and so they will really be struggling against cyclocharging from those Nahakar Horsemen. On the left flank of the Tomb Kings, we have the Harpies along with the Crows of Cain, trying to come in to stop any fire from the Ushabti Greatbows, which is a great play, because if they manage to rampage one of these Feral Manticores and knock them out of the fight, that would be a huge loss for the Dark Elves, but unfortunately, Ushabti Greatbows do manage to retreat behind the lines of a couple Skeleton Horsemen archers, and may be getting some good fire in later in the battle. These Dark Riders are actually getting a decent amount of damage into both the Skeleton Horseman archers and the Tomb King, who is now at half HP after taking a ton of fire from the repeater crossbows and Morathi along with the double manticores. Front lines going relatively well on the left flank of the Dark Elves. They're definitely chewing through Skeleton Warriors very well, and of course the Black Ark Corsairs with their anti-infantry bonuses will be chewing through Tomb Guard pretty well as well. But now the Tomb Scorpion is coming in with his crazy animations going underground and popping out. Reminds me of a scene from Transformers, actually, in the second Transformers movie, where he goes like there's like a Transformer that goes diving and chasing Sam, I believe his name was. I haven't seen that movie in a long time. But anyways, he is going to be a nuisance for those Black Ark Corsairs to deal with. You can see now they're being charged by two constructs, so yeah, these Black Ark Corsairs really not having the best time on this battlefield. And now these Nahakar Horsemen actually doing a very good job of chasing off the Dark Riders with repeater crossbows. Yeah, actually very good play from Hubert, making sure that these Dark Riders with repeater crossbows won't be getting their ideal targets into the constructs such as Tomb King or those the Tomb Scorpion, making sure they are screened out from the fight. But now a huge engagement is underway with Morathi along with a double Feral Manticore trying to take out the Tomb Kings, and this is the power of the Goon Squad of the Dark Elves with, let's see how much HP he has, 2100 HP, so he does still have a decent amount of killing capability, but he will definitely have to watch out for this Manticores, and now the dreaded Rampage has come, and so this guy might not be the greatest threat for the Tomb Kings anymore, though it does seem like he is going after the Tomb Scorpion, which is probably the best target for him in this scenario. Morathi once again coming in for another charge, though there was an Ushabti summon. Morathi might have to watch out for them. They will be despawning relatively soon. And now the Morathi along with the Feral Manticore have been completely surrounded by Nahakar Horsemen along with the Ushabti. And the Tomb King lives to fight another day. There are plenty of Black Ark Corsairs left, but of course they will not withstand to the cavalry along with the Tomb King that the Tomb King still possess. Let's see how so great playing from Hubert to chase off those Dark Riders with repeater crossbows, but will it be enough? The Manticore is still relatively healthy, the second one is rampaging, and Morathi, of course, with her Soul Stealers, definitely cannot be counted out of the fight, despite the fact that she is relatively low on HP herself with only 1000 HP. The rest of the Tomb King infantry are slowly but surely disintegrating. Unfortunately, these Ushabti were shut down very well by the Harpies throughout the majority of the battle, and so they still have majority of their ammunition. Rampaging those Manticores like they should have been doing was not an option for them. Man, Morathi should really just stay in the sky at this point. With a Spirit Leech on her, she's going to be losing a ton of HP. Coming in for a charge into the Tomb King. Will she be routed? She is routing, but they do manage to kill off the Tomb King. And Morathi going to be getting back into the skies, potentially getting back into the fight. Not sure. That's very close to the edge. I don't think she'll gain enough leadership to return to the fight. But this Leash Priest will be there nonetheless to escort her in case she decides to land again. And with that, the rest of the Tomb Kings do crumble into the earth. And so, great playing from Icepower with his Air Force. Not a typical Dark Elf build you usually see, but those double Manticore, if they're not shut down, can be a huge menace for really any faction to deal with. So great playing from both players. And with that, let's go into the end screen and see what each build did right and wrong. So Black Ark Corsairs, even though they didn't have any anti-large capabilities, definitely did a great job of chewing through those Tomb Guard and Skeleton Warriors. I think more cycle charging from those Nehakara Horsemen could definitely have worn down the Dark Elf front line and really leave them with no options other than those two Feral Manticores. And at that point, they could be surrounded and eliminated. Great playing, of course, by using those Skeleton Horseman archers to chase off those Dark Riders. They are a very powerful skirmishing unit, especially if they can get focus fire into some constructs. But using those Nehakara Horsemen along with those Skeleton Horseman archers to screen them out and not let them do the damage that they are meant to do really was a great play. The Tomb King might have overextended a bit at the beginning of the battle. I think potentially noticing that those two Manticores along with Morathi were making their way over could have saved him a bit of HP, but of course it's very tough to evade an Air Force like this. And the Leash Priest, of course, I didn't really keep track of where he used his spells, but he definitely probably had some decent HP drain over the course of the fight. So I think just very well played to Icepower and Hubert. Both are very good players, and hopefully we can see them in future battles. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this battle. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the content, and I'll see you guys in the next one.